thanks the whole organization committee, and especially Dr. Mohammed Buhiji and Dr. Dunya Ahmed for having me here and inviting me here. That's a great honor to be here in such an important event in the beautiful kingdom of Bahrain. Thank you so much. Well, since I came from the oldest economical university of Russia, and I need to put some corrections, like this. Can you hear me? Put some corrections. Of course, Vladimir Putin didn't finish our university. He finished from St. Petersburg University, but he paid too much attention for our university. But since I came from marketing department, I need to tell you that legacy, which we're talking right now, is a really important thing that we can develop, and it should bring some money. It could be developed as economic value. Well, that's absolutely true, because besides the social responsibility things and issues, we need to develop this. So any development needs investment. So I'm going to talk about how to develop your legacy, develop your enterprise cultural heritage, which is a part of general legacy, and use it for benefits. Well, before talking of that, we need to focus on crisis idea. We talk about crisis here. So what's crisis? Crisis could be external, like financial, like different conditions that actually influences us and make us behave in a certain way. But also crisis sometimes, it's sorry, did I do this? Oh, okay, sorry. Another thing that crisis could be is when we are not ready to take some changes and challenges, like different students right now. They're absolutely different. We used to give lectures, we used to talk to the students and do seminars, but right now they go to the Google and have the same information. And that's why inspiration economy and inspirational teaching is so important, because we're not just giving information. We start to share the experience and our own inspiration with our students to make them create the legacy in the future. That's the main idea of me. Well, for me, I take heritage and the legacy as a big one in the general way, and the personal one. Well, I started with a joke. My surname is Perepelkin, so this is so hard to pronounce for any international, even academics. So I need to explain a little bit my personal legacy, my surname, my family name. That actually means that little bird. I cannot pronounce this in Arabic, I'm sorry. But my surname means that. And I talk about legacy from my parents and parents of their parents. So that's my own legacy. But another legacy that I brought and shared to you is the legacy of my university, which is one of the biggest universities. We have 6,000 students and 3,000 professors. So that's a huge university. We have affiliations all around Russia, and yeah, we did teach and have the billionaires and millionaires who were finished and graduated from our school. So we're really big. That's the legacy that I brought to you. And another thing, that I came from the oldest department of marketing in Russia, and I need to explain you. We used to have, during the Soviet period, we used to have that planning economy, so everything was planned, nothing like market approach was used to. So 30 years ago, the first department of marketing in Russia was launched, so I worked there. That's our legacy again. All of the famous professors became the emeritus professors of our universities, such as Philip Kotler. I have a selfie with Philip Kotler, but I kind of, I was ashamed to put it here, so I put my students with him. So that's the legacy we share. And I want to ask you, I have two pictures over here, and you recognize one of them, and another one just taken from the internet. How we perceive legacy. So both of these pictures is just, well, let's be honest, it's kind of ruins, right? It's a physical object that destroyed. But the thing is that we perceive one of them as a legacy, as a historical, cultural, humanity legacy. Why? Just because we understand what stands behind that. We know that this building was built like 1,000 years ago, and that brings the whole cultural ideas and the whole history. So that makes a legacy. Legacy made it not only with a physical object, but also something intangible. And that's about modern brand management ideas. And here we have the definition of brand. So brand is intellectual part of the product which has a strong positive connection to the consumer and brings extra value to the product or a company or a in a consumer's perception. So this intellectual part could be a legacy that could be part of the brand idea. So each university, each company building a brand. So right now it's really important because customers, they build the connection to the products and brands through the emotional connections. They're not just seeking for physical characteristics of objects, they want to like this. They want to share same values. That's intellectual part. And over here, besides that, brand could be has some characteristics like similar to our social net account. So we have some characteristics. Besides that, people perceive something that stands behind of that. Sure. Here I'm talking to you. Here I'm saying that actually all this perception could be divided in two ways. One of them is intellectual understanding, what's the legacy, what's the history, and another one is emotional one. So when you should know, you should be educated to understand the legacy, and you should just feel this legacy. And in this case, we need to focus on that intellectual part. How we do this? Well, managing the legacy, first of all, you need to know what's your legacy. So making a survey, we launching the huge survey right now about understanding what the Plekhanov Russian University of Economics brand is. And the exploratory research was made on 100 students. That was just the beginning, just to see the trends. And we asked them, does it really important to our students to get to the university which has the history and the legacy? They said yes. But the most interesting thing, when we asked them what they perceive as a legacy, as a history of the university, we have plenty different answers. I'm not stopping here, I'm just trying to go through all of them. First of all, age and time of foundation. Well, that's so easy with our university. We're more than 100 years old, and you see how we actually developed, and the building's still the same. That's the building where actually Lenin make a speech sometimes. But we have to understand that age doesn't give you any competitive advantage, because age doesn't came with a good legacy. Age could bring some wise, so that you have to spend these times in a certain way to become a legacy. So another thing that our students, I'm finishing, yeah. Another student said that university achievements, we working hard to get to the international world rating. So that's mostly what's happening right now, but that's creating a legacy because the whole thing is actually perceived by students. Art and historical, cultural objects, projects and events. Well, I just need to tell you that here is the church that we rebuilt inside of the university, because there was never any service made after the revolution. And we recreate this and launch this. Right now you can attend the service over there. We have this, reconstruction and Art Nouveau building, which is a historical object, and we keep it and show it as a part of our legacy. We have interesting historical projects, like our students, they developed a TV channel where they talk about history of the university, etc. Well, we have lots and lots of celebrity professors, and I need to tell that the first lady, she's the head of Department of Custom. And she's the daughter of the first cosmonaut, the first person in space, Yuri Gagarin. And well, I have me there. So we have these people. And we have innovations. We attract our students to participate in these projects. And we have PR and publicity. I talk to your TV, and I get used to talk to TV back at home. So we put lots of efforts to do this. And personal customer experience, that's about our students. We made everything possible to feel, to make them feel great in our university. Well, I had a little bit more to tell about each project, but I don't have time. So if you have any questions, feel free to talk to me later. And another legacy, another thing that I want to brought to you, we have a memorial in our university, which is dedicated to those professors and students who went to different crises. So we need to focus that anything that we made in the past create our future legacy. So we need to focus on that. Thank you very much.
عن ترجمة السيد نيكولاي، أولاً العنوان دور تراث ثقافة المؤسسة في وقت الأزمات وأثر مبادئ الإدارة في نهج التسويق. في البداية كان تعريف بسيط بجامعة فيلنيوف وإنجازاتها العلمية والتي تأسست تقريباً قبل 113 سنة. في البداية تحدث السيد نيكولاي عن فكرة العلامة التجارية وعرفها بأنها الجانب الذهني أو العقلي لأي منتج، وأيضاً تكلم عن القيمة المالية للعلامة التجارية التي تكسب بمرور الوقت من السمعة الحسنة للعلامة التجارية. وعرف العلامة التجارية. العلامة التجارية بالنسبة للسيد نيكولاي إنها الهوية للمنتج. تحدث عن إدارة الأثر وعمل استبيان سأل فيه الطلاب عن أهمية دراسة في جامعات ذات تاريخ عريق. 80% منهم أجابوا نعم، لكن عندما سألناهم عن معنى التاريخ اختلفت الإجابات. تحدث عن العوامل التي تصنع الأثر وذكر مثال على جامعة مثل الأقدمية، الابتكار، الإنجازات وتجربة العميل. وشكرا لحسن استماعكم.